Ba-da-da-da-ba-da-ba-dee-ba-da-bow. Wow. Yeah. Ooh. I've been sick for the past 5 days. I don't know if it's COVID yet. I tested twice and it was negative, but that was at the very beginning of me feeling sick. So now that I'm kind of on the last leg, I'm still a little stuffy, but I can breathe. I've been sneezing a bunch. I have a COVID test over there, so I'm probably going to test later. My bedroom is kind of in shambles. It was honestly worse. I'm disgusting, and so I would just blow my nose, and then I would throw the Kleenex on the floor, and so this was literally just like a minefield of fucking tissues. It was disgusting. But now that I'm feeling better, let's clean up a little bit, shall we?
0, 1. Let's get started.
Why they stopping me?
Just got this new Valentino Donna. So good. I actually think I had the Eau de Toilette last time because when I got the parfum version, it smells a little different. So I don't know if I got the wrong one or if this is just how the parfum smells because it's like real shit. But it still smells really good, so I'm into it. Also, super happy that I got my keffiyeh from Herbawi. I'm butchering the name, I'm sure, but I'll put the name of it in the description. Usually they have surprise drops because they keep selling out, so definitely follow them and keep track if you want your own. It's gorgeous. It's huge. Really excited to finally have one of my own. All right, my room is somewhat clean, so let's make lunch because I've only eaten oatmeal today, and let's take this COVID test. I hate putting away laundry, by the way. It's like my one of two toxic traits. Putting away laundry, and the second one, I watch James Charles videos on YouTube. I know. I don't know what it is. He's like so insufferable, but there's something about his, it's just like entertaining. Like I like makeup. I actually used to like getting into makeup. And so I'm like, oh, like James Charles, sure. And then he did all that fucked up problematic shit. But like, yeah, every time he releases a new video on Fridays at 12 p.m. Pacific time, I watch that shit. So much better than before. Oh, and since you've last seen me, I painted my living room it's like a brown wine color. To be honest with you, my friend Joey helped me, and bless him because I could not have done it without him. I always wanted to color drench a room, and I feel like, yes, it makes it smaller, but I also did this little diagonal line. It just gives it some more dimension. I think it's really pretty. I got some new plants. Monstera, I had one of these in LA, but gave it away when I moved here. This is like a poisonous cactus. It like emits juices. And if you get it in your eyes or like consume it, it could like kill you or make you go blind. And then I have a money tree, which I love right here. I feel like this is dying. I could already tell, like the little buds are looking kind of sad, but also some of them are growing. I need to look up again and see how much light it needs. Probably a shit ton of light and not a ton of water. And I'm really good at drowning my plants in water, so fuck. It's kind of wild how in this age of social media and instant gratification and endless scrolling, etc., that like when you think about muscle memory of things that you remember versus things that you forget, the muscle memory of just knowing how to take these tests without looking at instructions is hilarious to me. Or sad. Hilarious or sad. I haven't decided yet. It's like I'm in my influencer bag. Maybe I'll just read you the instructions. So the first thing you have to do is you've got this. This is like the test strip, right? So you have to open this up and lay it flat. And then you have this little liquid. So I think this is the liquid that you put in here. And when you swab your nose with this, the liquid interacts with the mucousy swab. And then when you close it, like so, onto the strip. The strip gets wet, and then that's what indicates whether or not you have COVID. Always read the instructions, but like, it's not that fucking hard. So first I gotta put 6 drops of this into the little card thing. And now, my least favorite part, it never gets comfortable. Here we go. Oh God. Oh God. And then do the other side. And then I break this in half. And now I'm gonna try to get low so you can see it. Take this, shove it into where I just dropped the 6 drops, spin it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I think I touched the strip. I wasn't supposed to do that. Ooh. Take out this little sticky part. Oh my God, why is this being so fucking extra? Shit. Okay, there we go. And now I close this. Siri, set a timer for 15 minutes.
15 minutes, starting now.
Thank you, Black Siri. I don't know if you knew that, but they added a Black Siri like over a year ago. You should use it. It kind of reminds me of Marcus Brownlee, which is really funny and unsurprising. Okay, so while we wait 15 minutes for this COVID test, this is the 3rd one I've taken, by the way. The first 2 were negative. Now that I'm a few days in and I feel almost recovered, I'm still sneezing a little bit. My nose is a little runny and dry. So I just want to make sure it's not COVID. Even if whether it is or isn't, I'm still isolating because it's the right thing to do in my opinion. But I'm glad that I'm feeling better. Let's make lunch though. So I'm just gonna make a quick pasta and some chicken that I air fry. This is my usual go-to, high protein, some carbs. I don't know how to cook, so I'm usually just making the quickest, easiest shit. Boil water, put the pasta in, put the chicken in the air fryer for 8 minutes. Delicious. I'm actually considering being vegan again. I tried it when I lived in LA and it was fine, but I just started going to the gym and felt like I needed more protein. And so I really only eat chicken, but I don't know. Sometimes, when you take a bite of meat, particularly chicken, and you get gristle and you're just like, man, what the fuck is this? Like, what am I eating? And so I had a subscription to like a already like pre-seasoned, pre-cooked chicken company. And when I went to New York for vacation, I still have a lot of it left. And so as soon as I run out of it, I'm gonna just try tofu instead. So I'm gonna get some firm tofu and just stock up and try to replace all of my recipes, which again, aren't that many. It's like pasta. I think I'm gonna start making maybe some like vegan scrambles with veggies because I usually order like a vegan scramble at restaurants when I go out to eat. And so I may as well just learn how to make it myself with like peppers and tomato and all that other good, delicious shit. Okay, so the water's boiling. I just cut the chicken packet open. So I've been seeing a bit about, I always put aluminum foil in the air fryer pan just so I don't have to clean up. I've been seeing a lot of TikToks about how this shit, like especially if you wrap aluminum foil around your food when it's cooking, all of those aluminum particles are getting into the food and into your bloodstream, which like makes me sick. And so I'm sure more studies are needed here, but like it kind of makes sense. I guess a good alternative is parchment paper, which I also used to use, but it just, because it's flat and doesn't really fold as well, I stopped. But maybe I'll get back into the parchment paper. It's supposed to be non-bleached is best, but I feel like this is probably bleached. Anything that's like made in the USA, I'm like, oh cool, you're gonna kill me. Great. Allegedly. All right, so just put the parchment paper in the air fryer. And let me get down here so you can see. Then I just put the prepackaged chicken into the air fryer, like so. Break it up a little bit. So I get this in the mail. It comes frozen, and you just thaw it. I order like 20 pounds at a time, which again, it'll be interesting to see how I'm able to replace it with tofu, or if I am able to get by with just tofu. I hope I can. But I think it's worth it because, I don't know, I'm just kind of tired of eating animals at this point. Hope this doesn't catch on fire. Woo! I'm gonna wait to start that until I put the noodles in so they don't, the chicken doesn't cook before the noodles. A really incredible win. The ICJ this week announced, International Court of Justice, The Hague, announced that Israel is committing war crimes, is illegally occupying Palestine. They're supposed to vacate all illegal settlements are to be like vacated. Everyone needs to leave, which, you know, I'm thankful that this is happening, but you think that this could have happened sooner, like potentially before tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people, if you think about how long this has been going on, have been unalived since this all started happening. But I'm grateful, and I hope that the world continues to put pressure, because our country and the UK and I don't know, every Western, like Western white nation is complicit in this. And so I really hope that we can keep the pressure up, because baby, like, free Palestine all day. It's about time. Protesting, boycotting, all of this works. And this country, we have a lot to do. We have a lot to do before November. We have a lot to do to see ourselves liberated, which at this point seems closer than ever, but also really far away considering Project 2025 and everything else that's going on. So all I could suggest is to stay educated, really believe that we're on the brink of change, and don't settle. That's the one piece of advice. I feel like a lot of left or people who think they're progressive aren't actually progressive. They just, they vote Democrat because it's the safest option, and we just need to beat the other side, when in reality there's so many third-party options who are liberationists and who have denounced what Israel is doing, who want to give black people reparations their entire career, but everyone thinks that that's too radical. It's like, well, let's be fucking radical then, because not being radical has us in this capitalist slave spiral that we've been in forever. Like, we need to abolish prisons. We need to abolish capitalism. There's so, like, we're right fucking there. We're so close. We just need to be, we need to not be afraid. And a lot of people are afraid. COVID results are in. It's giving negative. It's giving negative Nancy. I don't see, if you see like a very faint bottom line, it could also be positive, but I don't see shit. Yeah, I think that I just had a weird viral thing. Sick. I'm saying like I did shit. I didn't do shit. It's so good though. I haven't listened to JT's new album yet. If you know what album I have been listening to, Megan Thee Stallion. I'm not gonna lie, when I first came out, I did not like this shit at all. Like, usually when an album of an artist I like comes out, I will just kind of skim through, but I was just scrolling through it in bed, and I was like, this all kind of sounds the same production-wise. And then I kind of let it go for a week, and I listened to it again, and now there's only 2 songs that I don't really enjoy from the album, which is pretty fucking good considering she gave us like 18 songs, which no one's doing now. Everyone's releasing EPs with like 5 songs, and it's like, girl, give me a fucking break. We've been waiting years sometimes for these albums, and you're gonna give us 6 fucking songs that are a minute and 45 seconds. Please be for fucking real. Another life update is I started taking wellbutrin about 2 weeks ago. I've been thinking about seeing a psychiatrist and taking medicine for a while. I've had low self-esteem for a while in my adult life. I think a lot of that was a result of just living in LA, very superficial, very, what are you going to do for me? Like, I think a lot of my relationships, even ones I thought that were strong, were built on bullshit. And it took me moving to Atlanta and really finding community and like being more comfortable with myself to feel okay. Like 95% of the time in Atlanta, I feel amazing. Whereas in Los Angeles, I just felt like I was constantly hyper fixating on my appearance or the genuity of relationships. And it was just like this constant mental anguish. It was fucked up. And so since moving to Atlanta, I've been amazing. And even still, I had never talked to a psychiatrist. I've been to therapy for years and it's very helpful. But the premise of taking medication was something I considered, but I always want to be like holistic, like, oh, am I getting enough sleep? Am I eating healthy? I quit drinking, I quit smoking cigarettes, like all these things. But a few of my friends started taking wellbutrin and they said that it really helped them. So I went to a psychiatrist. A lot of the things that I thought I had, like anxiety, ADHD, she's like, well, I don't really see that just from sitting here talking to you. There are specific ADHD tests you can take, which I didn't, but she's like, based on the few tests that I did take and just sitting in front of her, she's like, you're giving me depression. So wellbutrin, a couple weeks in, I feel really good. I think it takes 4 to 6 weeks to like fully, to fully go into effect. So far, I feel great. And so I have really high hopes for this. Any of y'all take wellbutrin? Let me know. I'm curious how it affected you. I've only had one person tell me that it was like really bad for them. And it was like this straight guy who admittedly probably isn't in tune with his emotions or feelings anyway. So like, of course, taking this thing might not be great for you. And not that needs to, like, not that not being in touch with yourself is going to play a role in how your brain reacts to medicine. But the way that he approached me was like, oh man, wellbutrin is fucked up. Stay as far away from it as you can. I was like, number one, try a new approach when you're talking to people. But that's really it in my life of updates. What do you want my next video to be? So I'm thinking it'll either be on skincare, because I made an Instagram post about how I feel like estheticians fuck you over and just try to sell you shit. And like, I'm oily and acne prone and I've tried all this shit, so what should I do? And got a lot of very insightful responses. And I already switched up my regimen and I'm like literally 24 hours later, see and feel a difference. So if you want me to talk skincare next time, let me know. The other video I've really wanted to make, I don't know why I'm holding this knife like, I can't even make the noise because I'm still getting over being sick. The other video I want to make is kind of about Los Angeles and why I moved away after 5 years and how I feel like it's kind of insufferable in many ways, and that when you say that, people who are from Los Angeles are like, oh, it's your fault because you're a transplant and it's actually a really great place to live. I have thoughts on that. I have a lot of thoughts on that. So let me know, do you want skincare or do you want the pits and peaks of living in Los Angeles or something else? I know this was a car channel. It's kind of tough to keep up with automotive news because I don't have a press badge, I have a full-time job. And again, I would love for my full-time job to just be reviewing cars every day, but it's not that easy. And like, there's only so much I can tell you about my Kia EV9. It's amazing, love everything about it, most things about it. I already did my review, whatever. So I think a lot of you are here for cars. I would ask you to stick around because I'm a really nice, insightful, smart person, multidimensional, dynamic, and I appreciate your support. So let me know what you want next time. JK, it's actually the day after yesterday. And I just wanted to come back because Joe Biden just dropped out of the fucking election of the race. I still don't have a voice. Oh my God. But also, he's endorsing Kamala, which isn't really a surprise given the circumstances. I actually thought that he would choose a male because this country is misogynistic and I would not expect, I expect at least 5%, if not more, of the Democratic voter base to now either vote for Trump or not vote because they would just rather not vote for a woman, which is insane. but that's the world that we live in. And all I have to say, my gimbal's yelling at me. All I have to say about that, honestly, is that I'm still very pro Jill Stein. And Kamala has had tons of people locked up for marijuana and other drug-related charges. I just posted a video of her speaking at like the Chicago Ideas Week where she goes,
build more schools, less jails. Build more schools, less jails. And we walk around everywhere. Build more schools. We protest. Build more schools, less jails. Put money into education, not prisons. There's a fundamental problem with that approach, in my opinion.
And so in addition to that, like, why would I then vote for the person that Genocide Joe is endorsing? Like, it completely negates everything about the liberation approach and liberation front, which is like vote third party, vote green, et cetera, et cetera. And like, I'm just apathetic to this. Like when I saw the announcement, I actually saw the announcement from one of those emoji meme texts from a friend. And I was reading up about it. I'm like, fuck, this is really happening. It's a good thing. It's good he dropped out for the sake of democracy, but I just don't know. I don't know where we're going to go from here because I just don't trust. I don't trust voters because most of you. I don't trust voters because a lot of you are stuck in the past instead of voting and acting toward the future. So I'm just gonna sit and watch. I'm just gonna watch how this unfolds. Okay, bye for real.
You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you.
Did you fall out of a coconut tree? Did you fall out of a coconut tree and hit your head? My mama used to say, you are real and the present is now. You think the past didn't exist and we're supposed to applaud?
Parabéns.